About Dillon and Shadur is Dillon Gabriel started getting first team reps immediately after he was drafted. The team, Kevin Stefanski, the coach staff, they said, this guy's ready for that. He's advanced. He understands the terminology. He understands how the offense operates. He's done this. He gets first team reps. He's ready to go. We're confident enough in him to trade Kenny Pickett and make him the backup quarterback. We're confident enough to make him the starter, and then we'll trade Joe Flacco and just get him out of here anyway, because we're confident in what Dillon Gabriel can do. He had all summer, all training camp, all preseason as that, the rookie that was taking first team reps. And after 4 games, it's clearly obvious he is not anything close to what they
Dillon Gabriel. The reason why he's starting is because somewhere where he got drafted in the 3rd round, and he's supposed to be one of the quarterbacks where he's smart. He might not have the big arm, might not be a big quarterback because he's pretty small, but he's smart. This ain't smart. Where you going with this? He had a couple plays in this game where I was trying to figure out where's he going? Because quarterbacks like him that might not be super talented, they be smart and they know where to go with the ball. Because your argument is why we not playing Shadur because of that, because he's smart and all that. But man, it's time to move on now. We seen him.
Wow. So you think it's time to move on already?
What are we waiting on? They getting beat every week. They getting beat on and beat on. Your star player is frustrated, and he got 5, 6, 7 sacks.
What if I told you the Browns' so-called golden boy, Dillon Gabriel, just went viral, not for a touchdown, not for a highlight, but because a reporter straight up roasted him and leaked footage that dropped like a bomb across social media? This wasn't locker room gossip or some harmless sideline debate. This was the kind of viral meltdown that makes PR teams panic and Browns fans hit replay like it's a season finale. Cleveland knows drama better than any fan base in the league, but this time the chaos didn't come from a blown call or a messy play. It came from one microphone that should have been muted fast. A reporter lost all filter and went off on Dillon Gabriel, turning the Browns quarterback conversation into something that felt more like a reality TV explosion than a post-game discussion.
After the bye week, if Shadur Sanders is not starting, I will be very annoyed. Not that I'm already not annoyed, if that's not clear. Because we know what we have in Dillon Gabriel now. I've said it since the start what we had in Dillon Gabriel. He's shown it on the field. He's a career backup, and that's what it's going to be. At least let Shadur Sanders get out there. Let's see what we have in him, because there's a real chance that he could show something. But at the end of the day, we need to see something before we get to the draft next year. I'm not sticking with Dillon.
For weeks, whispers floated across Cleveland that some local media voices were quietly shifting away from Gabriel. But the real spark started way before any rookie mistakes, back when Shadur Sanders became the easy target for every analyst looking to stir up a conversation. It was wild watching the city that loves underdogs suddenly decide who deserved support and who deserved a scandal. Remember when Shadur got that speeding ticket? A routine traffic stop instantly became a headline marathon. Reporters talked like he'd staged some high-speed movie scene through the facility parking lot, while everyone else was left wondering why they were acting like he broke the stadium roof. Meanwhile, when Myles Garrett got his own ticket weeks later, some of the same media members suddenly acted like they forgot how to type the word outrage.
Backup, yes. He is not a serious starting quarterback, and shame on Andrew Berry for using a top 100 pick on this kid. Shame on the Cleveland Browns for wasting our time, wasting players' time in the offseason, giving this dude first-team reps and acting like he's a legitimate starter in the making in this.
One situation got turned into a lesson for young fans, and the other got treated like it was nothing more than a quick slip-up. That double standard was loud. And while the media was pushing those stories, Shadur was actually out in the community, showing up at schools, talking to kids, visiting places NFL players rarely go without a camera crew waiting. But Shadur didn't bring any of that. No staged speech, no spotlight, just real effort, and somehow that genuine approach made certain people in Cleveland's media circles uncomfortable. That kind of authenticity hits different, and some folks don't know how to handle it. Months earlier, those same reporters had Shadur ranked as a top draft quarterback, calling him a generational talent with control, strength, and maturity. Cleveland talked like they had found the future right in front of them. But a few months later, all that praise vanished faster than a broken pocket play. Overnight, Shadur went from being seen as polished to being labeled unproven. Suddenly, he wasn't focused enough, wasn't calm enough, was too flashy, as if confidence somehow counted as a penalty. Cleveland has this familiar pattern. They believe in their guy until the first bruise shows, and then everything flips like a tipped interception. Then came Dillon Gabriel, the new face of the franchise. The guy handed the keys before he even knew where the starter button was.
It made no sense to me.
That made no sense, and I'll be honest with you, I think he knew it made no sense.
Okay, so wait.
There's no defending that kind of answer.
No, there isn't. So are you making the suggestion And listen, I don't even know. You might be dead on the money on this one, okay? I want to flesh this thing out completely here. That Stefanski will play Dillon Gabriel, and if they at any point say you have to go to Shadur, he'll just continue to say no and no and no, and you know the end result of that.
Yes.
He's asking to get fired.
Yes, or I think there's a lot.
Like mid-season, he's asking to get fired. Either I play Dillon Gabriel, and I'm not moving to Shadur, and if you want me to move to Shadur, guess what? You have to fire.
Some fans called him the safe pick, not because he was better, but because he didn't bring headlines or big narratives, at least not yet. For 4 games, he looked steady, respectful, predictable, and for a moment that was enough to keep the questions quiet. But Cleveland's patience, similar to their offensive line protection, cracks fast. Once the losses started stacking, the whispers around town turned into full-on conversations. Analysts who once swore Gabriel was a rising star suddenly began easing into the idea that maybe, just maybe, something wasn't adding up. Still, no one was bold enough to say anything outrageous on air until the leaked footage. That clip didn't just criticize, it exploded off the screen. A local reporter, tired of pretending and tired of echoing the organization's script, finally said the part everyone else was too careful to touch. He tore into Gabriel's play, the front office decisions around him, and the whole idea that this rookie was ready to carry a team that's been searching for stability longer than some fans have been alive.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
The media know that.
No, they don't.
The media ain't play.
The
media know damn well Dillon Gabriel got 4 games. You going to London, you facing a tough-ass defense. You got to go to Pittsburgh, they cracking right now. They done found themselves. You got to go to New England. That's a tough-ass defense.
They're playing good.
You know what I'm saying? They playing good, too. If Dillon Gabriel, the media know, if Dillon Gabriel go 0-4, hey, guess what we got, y'all? Shadur next. They never going back to Flacco.
You can't.
The media know damn well they not. It don't matter who the 2. They're not going back to Flacco. The media know.
He called it unwatchable and unfixable. And just like that, the Browns' quarterback situation wasn't just a football problem anymore. It was trending across every platform like a team-wide meltdown caught on camera. What stung wasn't the frustration in his voice, but the hypocrisy he exposed. The same people who nitpicked Shadur Sanders for tiny mistakes had spent months shielding Dillon Gabriel like he was the prized heir to the franchise throne. For weeks, those reporters praised Gabriel's calm presence, his leadership traits, his future upside. Every positive word they could find got tossed his way like confetti after a preseason win. But the second that leaked clip hit the timeline, their loyalty disappeared faster than Cleveland's playoff confidence in December. You could practically hear the entire script rewriting itself on air. Analysts who once called Gabriel a future franchise cornerstone suddenly acted like they had been skeptical the whole time. The pivot was so smooth you'd think they practiced it in the mirror. In Cleveland media culture, mistakes don't exist. They just change the storyline whenever it's convenient. Meanwhile, fans absolutely lost it. Twitter turned into a full confession chamber with people claiming they predicted this disaster from day one.
Absolutely a fireable offense if you're Kevin Stefanski and you wanted to draft Dillon Gabriel, and this is what he's putting out there on the field for you. Because it was very, very clear who liked Dillon Gabriel. It's come out in reports that Kevin Stefanski likes Dillon Gabriel. He processes his offense well. He expected the offense to take the next step with Dillon Gabriel in there. It's his guy. This offense has been putrid, absolutely putrid. Checkdowns, missing a ton of reads, underthrown balls. Every time he looks like he's trying to throw the ball deep, he puts all of his effort into it and it goes maybe 20 yards. It is a fireable offense if you're Kevin Stefanski.
Memes hit the timeline like a hurricane. Gabriel edited onto movie posters titled The Interception Chronicles and 50 Shades of Screen Passes had everyone laughing and arguing at the same time. Some fans begged for a quarterback change while others defended him like he shared their last name. Then the organization released its favorite line. They said the entire offense was under review, except the quarterback spot. Everything could be adjusted, they said, except the one thing the fans were actually talking about. In true Cleveland logic, they'll reshuffle the line, redo the playbook, replace half the staff, but admit the QB might not be the answer? Absolutely not. That kind of loyalty looks noble on paper, but reckless in real life.
Crucial interceptions in yesterday's game. I was watching, I think it was Rex Ryan on TV, and he was breaking down those interceptions. They all came from when the defense decided to clog the middle with a center blitz, blocking the line of vision for a shorter quarterback. This has been my whole point with Dillon Gabriel. You cannot name me a quarterback his size of recent that has been successful. These defensive linemen are 6'7", 6'8", huge monsters.
Even Mary Kay, one of the city's long-standing voices, tried to calm the storm by saying the team had to improve communication, which sounded respectful and composed, but didn't match a team that had already lost the narrative weeks ago. Communication wasn't their weakness. Denial was. Every season, the Browns write a brand new story about hope, and every midseason they start explaining why it collapsed again. The cast always changes, but the explanations stay the same, and that's why the leaked video hit so hard. It wasn't a rant, it was a mirror that cut through all the rehearsed press conferences and showed a franchise that keeps repeating the same chapters with different characters. The fallout was instant. Sports shows played the clip with dramatic music like it was some top-secret briefing. Analysts broke down the reporters' lines like they were reviewing an FBI file. And the Browns' PR team rushed out a statement about staying unified, which everyone knew really meant, please stop talking about this before Sunday. But the internet doesn't stop for anyone, not even a team in crisis. Once the clip hit the timeline, the memes turned into digital folklore.
Like a couple of days that the Browns media is done with this whole Dillon Gabriel thing, and everything is looking suspect with them and this whole Shadur thing, because it looked like there was definitely a planned attack on Shadur, character and performance on the football field, set in stone by people that work in Cleveland media. People can say what they want. I'm holding true and definitely believing that there was a conspiracy to depict Shadur playing ability to be a certain way and to depict his character to be a certain way.
One viral image showed Shadur Sanders helping out in the community on one side and Dillon Gabriel overthrowing a pass on the other, with the caption, "Different energy." Another post simply said, "Cleveland, where quarterbacks turn into content." It spread so fast even people outside Ohio were weighing in. What made it even tougher was that Gabriel wasn't a villain. He was just the newest player caught in a cycle that chews up every quarterback who walks through the door. He never asked for special treatment, never demanded spotlight, but once the narrative turned, it crushed him anyway. The media loves creating stars out of potential and then breaking them down for views, and in Cleveland, that isn't an accident. It's a tradition. The conversation eventually drifted into deeper territory. People questioned what leadership even means on a team that rebuilds every season. What does accountability look like in a city where consistency feels like a rumor? Reporters argued, podcasts exploded, and fans started dropping theories that sounded half like football debates and half like detective work.
Bad as it can get, Dillon Gabriel is a limited player at the quarterback position. He puts a ceiling on whatever your offense is capable of doing. Not that the offense was lighting it up with Joe Flacco as the quarterback, but it's gotten worse with Dillon Gabriel as your guy. And at some point, you have to move on just for change's sake, if for no other reason, to give hope to the other 52 guys in the locker room that maybe something can change. Maybe we can find a way to run into something.
Some blamed management for ignoring Shadur Sanders and everything he brought to the table. Others said Gabriel never had a fair shot because the politics inside the building were already stacked against him. But somewhere inside all the noise sat the real answer. Both quarterbacks were caught in the same flawed system. Cleveland's biggest issue has never been choosing the wrong players. It's choosing the right players at the wrong time under the wrong leadership. That creates a never-ending cycle of next big things that never get the chance to become big at all. The leaked footage didn't create that cycle, it just made it impossible to pretend it wasn't happening. And suddenly, all eyes drifted back toward Shadur Sanders. His name slid back into the conversation quietly, respectfully, almost like people didn't want to admit they'd overlooked him before. The same critics who once questioned his focus or personality now started reassessing his leadership. The comparisons came roaring back, but this time the tone was different, less harsh, more curious, like everyone suddenly realized the irony staring them right in the face.
We all remember when he got that speeding ticket, right? It was a speeding ticket. Granted, was he going fast? Yeah, he was going fast. But the fact of the matter is, they blew it out of proportion. Myles Garrett, like 2 weeks later, ended up getting a speeding ticket too. But you didn't see it reach the heights that Shadur did. You didn't see multiple upon multiple videos coming out from these Cleveland media people talking about Shadur talking about Myles Garrett getting that speeding ticket. But it's things like that that played out to me during the offseason that tried to hurt his character.
The player they dragged for being too confident, Shadur Sanders, was the same one who stayed composed when the media storm hit. Meanwhile, the quarterback praised for being humble had become the face of the latest viral meltdown. Some fans called it poetic justice, others called it karma, and Cleveland just shrugged like it was another Wednesday in the AFC North. As the season rolled on, the Browns' record barely moved, stuck in that familiar zone between hope and heartbreak. Gabriel had moments. Beautiful, sharp flashes where his talent popped off the screen. but the shadow of that leaked clip followed him like a cloud he couldn't shake. Every mistake brought a new wave of jokes. Every win was questioned like it came with fine print. And once the Cleveland media turns on you, the comeback becomes tougher than a 4th and long in the snow. Trust vanished across the city. Fans didn't trust the coaches, the media didn't trust the players, and the players didn't trust whatever process they were supposed to buy into. Everyone was exhausted from pretending this season would be different, and hidden inside that exhaustion was the strange beauty of Browns football. The impossible optimism, the loyalty without logic, the ability to keep dreaming even when history keeps punching your chest plate. Maybe that's why this story hits so deep, because everyone recognized the pattern. The names change, the years change, but the script never does. The leaked footage will fade from timelines, but its message won't. It exposed what's been simmering under the surface for years. The Browns aren't just battling opponents, they're battling themselves.
The Browns media is done with Dillon Gabriel. After another ugly offensive showing, reporters are saying what fans have been screaming for weeks, it's time for Shadur Sanders. This is bad, man. When the media is done with Dillon Gabriel and they making jokes and they talking about they cussing at the TV and the kids don't repeat what they say, this is bad. Even that hot air balloon they saying Dillon Gabriel threw up, man, he been overthrowing receivers in training camp. It's ridiculous. He missed Jared Judy wide open in training camp. So what you expecting?
And maybe that's the real heartbreak. Not that Dillon Gabriel got roasted on a hot mic, not that Shadur Sanders had been misjudged, but that Cleveland resets more than just the scoreboard. The lessons reset too. So when the cameras shut off, the arguments calm down, and the memes finally start fading, one question still hangs in the air like a wobbly deep ball. How many quarterbacks will it take before Cleveland stops replaying the same story? Hashtags popped up faster than touchdowns in a college highlight montage. Analysts suddenly turned into philosophers, asking if Gabriel had what it takes to lead not just a team, but an entire city starving for stability. Meanwhile, the reporter who dropped the footage became an unexpected folk hero, a man with a microphone, a smirk, and the rare power to shake up a franchise. But here's the twist. The footage wasn't even scandalous. It wasn't a fight, wasn't a meltdown, wasn't some off-field disaster. It was a simple human moment, a rookie frustrated with himself, his play, and the pressure that comes with being the latest next big thing in Cleveland.
Is on 9 targets for wide receivers.
Yes. That's ridiculous.
Why?
Because
is it Dillon? He can't throw the ball downfield.
Well,
he can't throw the ball.
Does he not see the guys down the field? That's one thing.
And he has seen
Jeff, I watched
he has seen players down the field his entire college career playing behind 6'5", 6'6" offensive linemen. I don't want to hear he can't see because
Jeff,
the guy was a Heisman finalist by throwing the ball downfield and seeing.
It's not just about height. It's about not reading the progression.
But subtlety doesn't survive in the viral era. People saw frustration and called it arrogance. They saw doubt and shouted, "Diva." The nuance got flattened instantly. Cleveland's PR squad scrambled hard, turning press conferences into something closer to counseling sessions. The Browns, a team already allergic to calm, landed right back in their comfort zone. Chaos dressed up as progress. The locker room, which was supposed to rally behind a young quarterback trying to learn the league, split down the middle. Some saw a teammate fighting to improve. Others saw a walking headline waiting to explode. And through all of it, Dillon Gabriel had to smile through the storm, pretending that being roasted by millions of strangers was just part of the journey. The wild part? In trying to push past the leak, he became exactly what the internet loves, a story worth spreading. A narrative people could debate, laugh at, and analyze like it was bigger than football. The beautiful tragedy is that he didn't ask for any of it. But the moment it hit the timeline, he didn't get a choice anymore. He became the story Cleveland couldn't stop watching. And with the city holding its breath for whatever comes next, make sure you ride this wave with us. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.